Okay, so it's our original business plan was to sell to restaurants and pubs, right? All in keg form, but COVID put a hampering on that. Here in Alberta, we're down to 3 or 6 people to a table, and there's a curfew at 10 o'clock, right? The bar's last call is 10 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock like normal. So our ability to sell our beer dropped. So it was kind of a pivot halfway in between. I had originally thought of doing a beer club where I give a 4-pack of beer out to anyone that would join into this beer club each month. And so this beer tastings kind of morphed that beer club into something else, where I take 4 different beers. Right now, due to our capacity, we're partnering up with different other local breweries in town within the craft industry. One of mine and one of 3 other breweries in a 4-pack, combining, right? So the concept around this, it can pivot to us doing 4 unique beers each month and doing a tasting accordingly with pairings of meat and cheeses. So that's kind of how this all morphed. I'd already been thinking about it before the lodge reached out to me and said, let's do this. But after this, it was a test with you guys to see if it worked, and I think it went off amazingly. So I plan on doing more and more and more of these, because it just the feedback that I got out of it with the information above and beyond just the here's 4 beers, here's 4 cheeses, here's 4 meats. There was way more involved within the Zoom meeting, I guess. So it turned out really well. In regards to the pairings of the meat and the cheeses to the beers, like for me, I've been eating charcuterie with some my sports team quite regularly. We'd always go out, and there's some of my friends make their own smoked jerky and that type of thing. We'd sit down and have some beers together, and I've always thought, well, there's enough charcuterie out there that tastes differently with each environment, that it wouldn't be that hard to find 4 different types of meat that can fit in with 4 different types of beer. So I went out and found a local small boutique butchery that had some 10 different styles of meat, and we sat together and tried some beer and tried the meat out, and found out which ones fit each other the best. And I went to a local cheesemonger here in town as well, and said, what kind of cheeses you think would work with this stuff? And so we tried 6 or 8 cheeses, and we brought them all together, and it seemed like after extensive research, aka drinking beer and eating cheese and eating meat, we found some pairings.
That's good research. Nothing's wrong with that.
You got to put the time and effort in to make sure that these things work out, right? And if that involves drinking some beer and eating some cheese and meat, I think I'm willing to lay my life down on the line for that, right?